Welcome to episode number 326 of Category 5 Technology TV. So great to see you. It's Tuesday the 17th of December 2013. I'm Robbie Ferguson.
And I'm Eric Kidd. And here's what's coming up in the newsroom.
Yes!
A Bitcoin startup has raised $25 million in venture capital funding. That wasn't for... No, okay. Game developers say they want YouTube to leave gameplay videos online even though they technically breach copyright. And a green supercomputer has been built at Cambridge University using just 1 watt per 3,361 megaflops. And
wowzers.
Xbox One key sequence to allow 360 games in fact bricked the console. Let me reread that. I think I got my inflection.
The last one I didn't catch.
Xbox One key sequence to allow 360 games. In fact, bricks the console.
360 games.
Yeah.
Xbox 360. I heard about that. Okay. So if you want to hear about it, we're going to make sense of it in about a half hour's time, I suppose.
So maybe you ought to stick around and see what comes up later in the show.
Tonight is a very, very special night.
It's...
Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Don't! I don't have enough money to pay the royalty. But she knows that I wish her a happy birthday.
Oh, I was at a party.
Tonight,
I was at a Christmas party.
He's digressing already, and we haven't even finished the intro. Tonight, we are going to be giving away more $25 Visa gift cards from ESET. And we've got an amazing show. We're going to be teaching you how to use PHP scripting to control MIDI files. You heard about it last week. This week, we're doing it for Dennis Kelly. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a great show.
This is Category 5 Technology TV. Starring Sasha Dermatis, Hillary Rumble, Krista Wells, Eric Kidd, and your host, Robbie Ferguson.
To secure your company, you need confidence in a trusted solution. Technological leadership has made ESET a pioneer of the antivirus industry for 25 years. Continual research and development has earned us trust in our solutions. A long record of awards in independent security tests are proof of this, as are millions of users worldwide. ESET Endpoint Security Solutions for your business. Emerging threats are eliminated by our unique scanning engine with cloud-based technology. Low system demands ensure fast and efficient security. Web control prevents network overloads and controls online activity. With our easily manageable solution, you can oversee security on thousands of endpoints from a single console. Flexible, easily managed, and cost-effective. Endpoint security solutions from ESET. Proven. Trusted.
And from ESET, we are giving away $25 Visa cards. Good luck to everybody who's in our chat room. If you're not already in the chat room, get in there. We got more to give away tonight. Napa Polar Bear, nice to see you. Popey, Tachos, Bob K, Dave Maydew. Whoa. Look at these names flying by tonight.
Sans
serif. Nua. Here we go. This is for a $25 gift card from ESET. And I'm not I'm talking a $25 prepaid Visa.
That's a cool deal.
A $25 prepaid Visa, friends. Check out ESET.com, or of course, if you'd like to support the show and you're in the US or Canada, check out our affiliate link, cat5.tv/ESET. the winner of a Visa prepaid $25 gift card courtesy of ESET tonight. Here we go with the win. It's picking up. I can feel it right around the bend. These are the folks in our chat room, Category 5 on Freenode. The winner is Bill 777. Congratulations, Bill.
Ooh, really?
You won a $25 prepaid Visa card courtesy of ESET. Check them out, ESET.com. Also, if you are in Canada or the US, we've got an affiliate link, cat5.tv/ESET.
Very cool.
Use that one, and it supports the show as you check them out. Cool. Hey, tonight is a very popular night. It's Mum's birthday.
Mum's birthday, but
And-
Dave Maydew's having a birthday as well.
Dave Maydew's wife, I believe.
No, it's Dennis Kelly's wife.
Dennis Kelly. Oh my goodness, really?
Yeah.
So
And-
many Dave Maydew's birthday is today, and
Apparently.
Dennis Kelly's wife is today,
Indeed.
and my mum is today,
And Chip's Bit.
and Chip's Bit.
Yep.
Happy birthday to all.
And my son and his sweetie are celebrating 2 years together. They've gone out for dinner.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of nice.
So, yeah.
Very good. Well, happy birthday to all.
December 17th.
What started out as a
big day.
Yeah, this is a really big day. So, hey. Okay, well. Where do we start? I got to say, it's a packed out show tonight.
It
Good
is.
to see you, by the way,
Hey.
my friend. Been a while, my man.
I didn't
I
tell
learned
you
that
I
from
was
him.
going to be here until about 3.
6:57?
6:50.
Oh,
I
it was
was here
3 today.
early. I was here
Yeah.
early. I was here at like
He was
6:50.
here on time. It was
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, no, it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
There is a phrase for being almost late. It's called on time. Sorry. Hi, gang. What have I been up to? I've been gigging, playing lots of gigs all over the place. I've learned a couple hours worth of Christmas music. I'm doing some gigs in some of the seniors' homes. The old girls love me. And I've been playing some of the local pubs and
Good. Yeah, I see
some
that
of
on
the ski resorts too.
you're
So-
tweeting it and Facebooking it.
yeah. Skiing is really happening here already. I mean, this has been the best December anywhere. I don't ski,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah, they're-
resorts have conditions like they'd have in January, so they're excited.
That's true. We here
Yeah.
in Ontario anyway have gotten a really good snowfall. We know it's going to be a white Christmas, so I blame it on my kids. Because we've all been praying for a white Christmas.
Oh yeah, you don't have the money for the royalties on that one either.
No, we got to stick to the. We've got oh Holy Night on our YouTube channel. Carrie Webb and myself singing that.
Right.
It's public domain, and still YouTube gives me a hard time and won't monetize it. That's how, like, this whole world of copyrights, it makes it impossible. This is a royalty-free public domain song, and we still can't monetize because somebody out there
Now,
copywrote
different
their version of it.
sites, declare songs, public domain, and then there's
Yeah.
some, like even the one that I played with. You remember my pal Chris playing the cello and I was playing the guitar, and we did
Christina Scala last year at our Christmas
we
special.
did Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
That one you can't do. I wish you could because
you,
it suits my voice.
you told us we could, but I think I'm not sure. There was one of them that I thought.
Oh, maybe you can.
One site said we could, and then another site
It's so
said
complex,
that
isn't
it
it?
was still copyrighted. So
It's a complex world that we live in. We got to be careful.
So I'm gonna have to write a
do our
Christmas
best here.
tune next year.
So if any copyright agents are watching, we do our best not to infringe. But this is just reality, just hanging out.
Yeah.
And if I happen to have a song come to mind and I sing the first bar of,
I think you're
Happy
okay with
Birthday.
one bar. I think once you get beyond 12 notes,
Is it 12 notes?
something like that.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. It's 10.
You're good. Okay, stop right there.
That's where I got to stop.
Okay.
All right. Well, I want to give shouts out to everybody who has contributed to the show this week. It has just been an amazing roller coaster ride. There have been some checks that have arrived in our postal box. Thank you very, very much. That's listed on our website at the footer of the website if you care to contribute that way. I've got some big news, though. We have received some interesting, exciting sponsorships. And in fact, you may notice if you go to our website, Category5TV, over the past few days, absolutely you should. But cat5.tv/studio, the original link that was for our Indiegogo campaign, is now posting you over to Fundraiser. And Fundraiser is there's a campaign there hosted by the Crowdfunder Show.
That's
which is
a ZR at the end of that, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't need to worry about that. That's why we have cat5.tv/studio. The Crowdfunder Show is a very unique and interesting show on WUTV Fox 29 out of Buffalo. And it airs at 11:30 on Sunday mornings, and they're actually featuring Category 5 Technology TV. So
how cool is that?
We're actually going to be on the Crowdfunder Show because they are helping us to raise the funds to build the new studio. So it's really, really exciting. Yeah. But what's cool for you is if you want to contribute, but you don't necessarily have the cash to do so, or maybe you've already contributed, but maybe the perks, whatever. Here's what's cool: subsidized gift cards. So if you contribute $50, you actually get a $50 gift card back. So it's really just a reallocation of the funds.
With the gift
you can gift the gift card, or for example, give a $100 contribution, get a $100 Sears gift card back, and then you go shopping at Sears. And you spend $100 at Sears, or you give it away or sell it or whatever. But basically, you get your money back by way of gift card, which is really cool to me.
I wonder if they have LCBO cards.
That would be perfect. You could just stand outside the LCBO. That's the liquor store in Canada, and peddle
in Ontario. Anyway.
Gift cards
yes.
in Canada.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the Ontario. Yes. That's what the O stands for. All right. But hey, that's cat5.tv/studio. But again, I want to thank everybody who has pitched in. Also, Eric, Rob Gore had contributed he wanted to get an 8x10 photo of the crew from season 6, all signed and autographed. So while you're here, I need you to sign this for Rob Gore. So if you could just grab our
How do you spell that?
And I said to Krista last week, we got to assume that he's going to put this golden frame around this, so we need to leave enough room there.
So I should probably sign across
my forehead. We left a black area at the bottom to make it easy for people to sign, but you can probably sign anywhere, eh, Rob? So
what would you like? Best wishes for... I could fill this whole area up here.
It's going to be just completely destroyed by Eric Kidd. And his name is this big. Perks have gone out. A lot of them have. You've probably received emails from Indiegogo letting you know, but those are progressively going out this month. Some of them we're still waiting for them to come in. Thank you, Eric. I'll be dizzy woozy for the rest of the show. There you go. For Robert Gorzinski, there you are. Yeah. And we've got a bunch going out that are just my signature.
I should have said good day, mate, because he says I sound like a tourist when I say that. No.
Throw another shrimp on the Barbie. You mean prawns? Yes, sir. So thank you, everyone, for your support. I mentioned about the Crowdfunder Show. And here's the thing. If you want to be a part of that fundraiser, this is kind of exciting. You can actually have them interview you by email, and you will actually be a part of that. They might quote you. They might use quote from your responses. So all you have to do is send me an email live at category5.tv. Just simply tell me who you are as far as registered on our website, the email address that you don't mind them emailing at, and just a quick verbal, I would love to have you share my email address with the Crowdfunder Show so that they can interview me about Category 5. They're going to ask you some questions about your viewership here and what you think about the show, why you think that we should be raising the funds to build the new studio, things like that. Again, just email live at category5.tv. Give me your email address, your registered username, and an A-OK to send your email address forward. And I say that because they asked if some viewers would like to participate, and I said, you know what, I would love that, but I would never divulge your personal information. You don't just want to
hand out your email list.
I would never do that. So this way, you get to actually opt into this. As far as mailings and everything go, it's entirely internal here. We would never share your personal information, but if you authorize me to do so, I'll give them your email address. They'll just ask you a couple questions, and that will become a part of this exciting fundraiser that they're doing for us.
Read the privacy statement.
That's it. That's the privacy statement right there. So, all right. Well, Category 5 Technology TV is a member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. You got that?
I've got-
cat5.tv/TPN. Also, check out our mobile site. You saw it there.
I'm not wearing my reading
m.cat5.tv. We are also a member of the International Association of Internet Broadcasters, and that is cat5.tv/IAIB. Cool. Ready to start some
Sounds good to
programming?
me.
You on it?
Where are we? What do we want to do?
He's
We're going
lost.
to do some programming?
We want to?
I'd love to.
All right. So,
So,
D-Man810 there sent us an email. It's on your list.
D-Man.
It says it right there.
Okay.
How's
Did I
your
mention
eyesight?
my glasses are really causing me a bit of grief today. All right. Where are we right now? Here we go. Okay. I am not seeing the email from D-Man10.
It's on your screen. Email is a computer medium. It's an amazing new
Did
thing.
he not just point at this and say, read that? Okay.
The part where it says, Eric, read question highlighted in green from D-Man810. It says
Here we
it
go. We
right
have a
there.
green question now. Robbie, you miserable son of a gun. I have a question, eventually, but first, some back info to what I have set up. I have a Raspberry Pi running Raspbian, Debian-based. The Pi is set up with a relay board to control Christmas lights. I have it working great.
I love the idea. So cool.
It plays MIDI files of Christmas songs. Now for the question. How can I make a web page to pick a MIDI file and then play it? Right now I use the CLI to execute the following command. A play MIDI -p14 song.mid. I have all the songs in a folder. I just want to be able to pick a song and play it. Another
course.
feature might be to queue a bunch of songs and have them play one at a time. I hope that I provided enough info. Oh, I'm running Point Linux as my OS, but I would like to use a web page so I can use my OS on my network. Thanks, Dennis Kelly.
Dennis Kelly, a.k.a. D-Man810. Okay, we're going to do this.
And
I think it's cool. And people say, well, I don't have...
husband of the birthday girl, right?
Indeed.
Yes.
I don't have this cool Raspberry Pi Raspbian system connected to Christmas lights that's going to flicker and light up. So why does this apply to me? Why should Robbie and Eric commit the next 20 minutes of the show to showing Dennis Kelly how to do this? We're going to learn some pretty cool things.
I bet we are.
We're going to learn, for one, how to make PHP read the files on your file system, manipulate the files in an array, and also execute Linux commands in such a way that allows you from your browser to trigger events on a Linux server. So this goes way beyond Dennis's awesome Christmas light setup, which, by the way, Dennis, we expect pictures.
Yeah, come on. What were you
This
thinking?
goes way beyond that. This is going to be
He might
cool
be
for
making
that,
it up.
but there you go. It could be. But we can use these techniques, this bit of information for so many different things. So, where have I got it here? Okay. I grabbed a couple of MIDI files because I wanted to be, right up there with Dennis Kelly and his collection. I'm sure he has a few more than I do. There you go. Away in a Manger, Carol of the Bells, O Little Town of Bethlehem. Okay, so I have actually slapped those into /var/www/MID for MIDI. And the reason I've done that, Dennis Kelly, of course, we've got an Apache server installed. So I've installed the PHP 5 package on Linux, on Debian. So you can do the same on your Raspbian box. Install PHP 5, gives you the ability to run Apache PHP, and you get the front end. And when you go to localhost in your browser, localhost, it works. That's your web server. So I've got these files. Okay, so I'm going to go into my terminal because you've got to be root in order to use these commands, or to touch this folder, var www, because this is all owned by root right now by default. And I've said it before, we're not really getting into security stuff tonight as far as, we don't need to teach you about permissions and chowns on this because we're working with a default installation, right? So with this, therefore, if I want to create a file, I can't just, touch index.php, it's going to say permission denied. I have to do, what do I have to do? Sudo, or I can do, what was the command that I taught you a couple weeks ago? Right?
Right.
Exclamation, exclamation.
Is that two commands
There we go.
previous or no?
One.
Okay.
So then I've got an index.php now. Okay? So when I loaded my browser, it was loading that index.html. It works.
Right.
Index.php is there now. So if I go /index.php, it's just a blank file because all I did was touch it. Right? So nano, and again, we're going to need sudo, nano index.php. And there's a couple of different things that we want to do. First of all, it's a PHP script, so we need to start it and end it with the PHP opener and closer. And we want to do a couple of things. So we know that we've got a folder ./mid, right? So we've specified now that folder is ./mid. If I save that file and exit and do a ls./mid, you'll see there's the output of that. Okay, so it's perfect. And that's because it's relative to my index.php. So there's my index.php. Mid is a subfolder of the current folder /. Okay. Sudo nano index.php. So for those of you who are not programming, who aren't fans of programming or don't want to learn programming, bear with us over the next little bit. Don't forget, I've got another $25 Visa gift card to give away, so stick around. But right now what we're doing is we're going to learn a couple of really neat things with PHP. I'm going to try to keep it as understandable as possible. Feel free to stop me by pinging Eric in the chat room. Eric, if you can keep that up and just keep a bit of a watch on that. Okay, so what we need to do here, Dennis, and for all of you watching, is we need to find out what is in that folder. So we can go $handle equals opendir, if I could type, ./mid, or in our case, we're going to go $folder because we've already specified that. So now handle is going to be a resource handle of that folder. Okay? So a couple things. Now, first of all, okay, so I can do that, and then I can do readdir on that. But let's just loop it and go through. Let's just do it right from the get-go. I kind of want to teach you what all this stuff does, so I'm kind of going a little bit slow and backwards, but let's actually do the command, make it happen for you, and I'll explain it as we go. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a resource of the folder. That's all of the stuff that's in that folder. Okay, that's what $handle is. It's the stuff that is now in ./mid, but it's in a resource, so I can't use it just yet. I need to actually convert it into something like an array in order to work through it. So what we want to do, I'm using what I'm actually working with here, and I'll encourage you to do this as well. Get on over to php.net anytime you want to learn some new functions. We're looking at opendir in order to read the contents of our mid folder. But get over to php.net. Do a quick search up at the top right for opendir. And when that comes up, there you go, opens a directory handle. Okay? So we're going to use example number 2, and that's going to actually help us to get the contents of that folder. So let's see, example 2, does it exist? No. I thought so. Try readdir. Example 2 of readdir. There you go. So readdir is the other command that we're using. So opendir is the first one. Readdir is the one that's actually going to go through the handler and work with it. So the example that we're actually going to use is in the readdir function. There we go. Okay. So that's basically our base for tonight. So while false is not equal to $entry equals readdir $handle. I'm going to explain all this, don't worry.
2Ds in readdir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the right function. Okay, so notice I'm opening braces and closing the braces right away so that I don't get lost within my braces. Okay, so now let's back up and look at how this command is actually working. Okay, first of all, entry equals
read the directory entry for handle. So it's actually going to be dot, 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 away in a manger dot mid, etc. And it's going to do that until as long as it is not equal to false. So as soon as this no longer outputs anything, it's going to break. It's going to stop. Okay? I'm going to post all this information for you in the show notes for episode number 326 as well. Okay, so if $entry is not equal to, here's where we want to get rid of. Well, there's a couple ways. This is the way that the example says, okay, if it's a dot or a dot dot, just ignore it because that's the current folder and the previous folder. You're going to see that when you do an ls, right? So when you look at a directory listing, you see dot, 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 but you don't want those to be in your output. There's a couple of different ways. I would actually say if stristr, so we're going to search within the file name that's coming back.
String in a string?
Yes. Yeah. So haystack is entry. Needle is dot mid. So I'm going to try instead, we're going to say if it's a MIDI file, it's got a dot mid in the file name. Of course, we're not doing an advanced search here. It could be, if it was called eric.mid.txt, it would still give a true, but we're presuming that you have some form of control over the file names of your files, and they're just going to be .mid. So let's try that. Let's go echo $entry.php.eol. That's an end of line. So I've pressed Control-O in Nano to save that. And now if it worked, let's see, index.php. Yes, there you go. So all of the .mid files have just outputted. Is that clear as mud? Eric, you can help with this because you're familiar with coding quite well. So what we've done there is we've specified .mid, ./mid, that's the folder we're going to be looking at. Then we're going to open the directory .mid, because it's $folder, and we're going to assign it as a resource handle called $handle. Then we're going to assign $entry as the next item in the directory that is currently on $handle. So that will be the first .mid file, the second .mid file, but it will also be anything else in the folder. So if there were any text files in there, it would also show up as a part of this list. So what I've done is I've said no. If search in case sensitive, that's where the I comes in, search in case sensitive in the $entry, which is the current file in the current list. If it contains .mid, which is a MIDI file, and based, the problems with that I've already explained. Right. You may want to do some rtrim or some regex or something. But this is really quick nitty gritty. Then we can echo that file name. So now when we run that, and if we run it in our browser,
what was the PHP EOL?
See my source file? PHP EOL means PHP end of line. Oh. So when you see these, it's outputted and then it's gone to the next line. But it's not like a break. It's not like a carriage return or a BR, because as outputted in your browser, there's no carriage return.
Right.
But there is one in plain text mode, so output to your terminal or to the source code. So I could instead change that. If I wanted to make this a list, I can say, okay, up here we can go echo UL.
Did we get an either?
Yeah, I did. It's just that it's outside.
Could not see that.
Yep, sorry. And the UL. That's an unordered list. Now, here we could go LI, and bear with me here, everyone, and Dennis Kelly in particular, because all I'm doing is I'm showing you what it is that's actually happening here. I've saved that. So now I've got an unordered list with those items. Right. See? Because I've assigned them with a UL and an LI, and you can see how that's done in the source code. Okay? So what we want to do then is, Dennis Kelly is saying, okay, well, we want to be able to generate a list that we can click and actually do stuff. So there's a couple of things that have to happen here, and that's, okay, first of all, we need to understand the command that we're going to execute to play these files. That's the first step. So we're going to step away from PHP and switch over to bash mode here and say, okay, let's exit here. Let's look at our mid directory. There are 3 MIDI files, and Dennis Kelly mentioned that he's using the aplay MIDI command in Linux, which comes with Point Linux. You may need to install it. You can just do so with a sudo apt-get install. So I need to list my devices, my ports. These are my MIDI ports that are available. You'll see that he's using MIDI through on port on number 14. I have Timidity installed for my FM synthesis. So I'm going to actually use that. I'm going to use port 128. So my commands will differ just ever so slightly from yours, Dennis Kelly. Let's take a look again at those file names. There we go. Away in a Manger is one. So if I go a play MIDI, and remember I did a -L and I saw that my port is 128, and then we'll just put the file name, Away in a Manger. And there we go. So you should be able to hear that at home as well. Hark, there it is.
I hear a MIDI file.
Good old MIDI. Okay, so thing about that, you notice how I had to hit Control-C to end it? Well, so how do we work this into a script? Because if I have to hit Control-C, it's going to freeze up my script. It's going to lock up, and PHP is going to eventually time out. Control-C. All right. So what I actually need to be able to do is I need to pipe that out to null. So there's a few different things that we would need to do in order to do that. I'll just demonstrate by going, and we're going to actually pipe to dev/null the actual std error, and then the application itself we need to pipe as well. So pipe the second one, dev/null, and then an ampersand to return back to the terminal. And if I run that, you'll see that now I have a PID, it's playing, and I can continue about my business. Right? So then to stop it, done. Okay? So now we have a couple of commands in the terminal that we can use in order to control the aplay MIDI command and the files. We know the file names, and now we can start playing around with them. So back in our PHP script, now that we know the commands that we're going to use, go back into our subfolder, sudo nano index.php. Okay, so there's a couple of different things that we can do here, Dennis. We've already started creating a bullet list, and I'd love to go even further and do select lists and everything, but we are limited for time. So let's just play around and just say, well, you know what? Let's do a select list. Can we do that, Eric? Do we have time?
Sure.
All right. Is it interesting?
Make it so.
Am I making it interesting? Come on. All right. Let's get rid of that.
You always make it interesting, Robbie.
Good. All right. Form method equals post. That's all we need. Okay, end the form. Echo form. Okay, notice what I'm doing here? So those are outside of... That's outside of everything. That's
outside of your if.
Yeah. While if and if. Okay. Form, echo form. Okay. So we need a select list. So... watch what I'm doing here. This is easy breezy outputting an HTML form. So we're going to go, this is the name. We're going to call this song. Okay? And with that, oh no, you know what we need to do? Here's what we need to do, and this is the beauty of live television. We're going to learn the better way right here live. I'm going to actually assign this to an array. $songs. And then that is going to actually assign 0, 1, 2, 3 as it goes. There we go. So now if I print R, $songs, output that. I guess I can leave that open and just refresh my browser. You'll see that the array is now containing 0, 1, 2. And the reason that I decided to change my way there is because we need to have some kind of an assignment to tell the system which file to load other than the file name, because for security reasons, we're never going to use the file name. Because if I ever say, okay, open awayinamanger.mid, now I've opened up a big exploit in my script because someone could forcefully inject ... // whatever, and they can start grabbing files that they shouldn't have access to. So we're going to avoid any kind of injection by creating an array instead, so that we can now assign just 1, 2 to those songs without them having any control over it.
Right.
If that makes sense. And for those of you who, it's a safety thing. Okay, so now we know we have an array, but we're going to say, okay, there could be a case where there isn't. So if is array $songs, then we're going to actually loop through it. So for each $songs as $ID $song. Okay, so now we're creating two things. $ID is a number 0 through 2, pardon me, for the 3 songs, and $song is the song file name. So if $get song, remember we're going to assign that from a form which we're going to create, equals $ID, okay, and that again is for security so people can't inject. Then we're going to do a couple of things. First of all, we're going to execute the command which stops all currently playing music, because we don't want it to accidentally start playing 3 songs at once if I've clicked on 3 songs.
I've programmed that before.
Yeah? So we're going to kill all, -9, and the player is a play MIDI. So first of all, we're going to kill it. Then we're going to exec, and this is where it gets kind of interesting because we're doing it within PHP, right? A play MIDI, and we're going to tell it to play on port 128 in my case. And now we need to tell it the file name, but we need to put the file name within quotes. Absolutely, because what if my file name, in my case, has spaces in it, right? We need to fix that. So then now we're going to add the file name, $file name. There we go. Now we need to pipe it out to dev null, right? We already showed you that in the terminal, null. And then we need to pipe out the stdio was the first, and then std_err. Don't really need to know all about that, but basically what we're doing is we're telling it to return back to the terminal, or in this case, return back control to PHP. Okay, so there we go. So we've told it to kill any currently playing MIDI and then launch this current file name. But look, there's a problem. File name is what? awayinamanger.mid, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's missing? Do you see it? Some of you at home may see it. $folder / right? Because it's /mid/ awayinamanger.mid, for example. Okay? So, and I spelt exec here wrong. You probably caught that. What exec does is it tells PHP that it's allowed to execute a Linux command. So this is actually going to leave PHP, and on the server side, it's going to do something. In our case, it's going to start playing a MIDI file. So now that we've got that in place to start playing a MIDI file, we need to create a way for it to receive the instruction to play a MIDI file, which is currently set to _get song. We're going to set that to post instead, so that we can do this all in the background without people seeing. And then we're going to go echo.
Equal? Echo?
Yeah, something like that. Form. Yeah, if I can type and talk. Form method equals post. That's what I just changed. Okay. Echo. Okey doodle.
Okey doodle? No.
Yeah. Okay. So now we know that it's an array. Why don't we put it within that? Because we know it's an array. Oh. Okay. So we're going to go for each $songs as $ID $song. So I'm doing this again. I don't really care in this particular case. You can streamline this. Okay. Echo. We're going to leave that as is. We're going to open up a select name equals song. Remember, we need that. Echo select. Okay, so Eric, what are we going to do next? We've got a loop on songs. We've got the ID and the song name. So we're now creating a select list. That's a drop-down list called song, which is later going to be used by this to tell us which one to play. So we're going to say, okay, option value equals $ID and then $song. Option. Just like that, okay? Except maybe we'll spell it right.
You might.
It would help. We better add a couple PHP EOLs in here somewhere, otherwise we're going to end up with this great big long code. So that should give me a drop-down list with all my file names, right? So I can select them now, but I can't actually do anything. There's no posting going on. So we need to add a submit button. So we'll call it play in this case, right? It needs to be within our form. Echo input type equals submit, value equals play. Okay? There we go. Now if I refresh, you'll see that we now have a play button. So if I select away in a manger and hit play, does it execute? Let's see if there's a PID for a play MIDI. There is not. Okay, so let's see where we went wrong. Okay, a play MIDI. Let's grab this command. It's a fun way to determine what's going on with your script, and this is, you'll want to do this with MySQL queries, everything. So take that exec command, and instead of actually executing it, copy it to our clipboard and echo it, so that we can see, and I can exit there, we can actually see what's going on. So notice that file name is missing from the output. So that's why it wasn't able to play. So it's got the dot/mid. Why is my file name not there? Let's find out. $ file name. That's what I did. It's actually $song. See?
Ah.
Oh, where am I? I'm over there. Sometimes I think I'm in a GUI. Nano's just that good. Okay. $song. Output that. Now I've hit Control-O to save that. Now here I am back at my script. Refresh. Resend. What happens? Is it happening? Let's echo that out.
Oh, you had a break in there, didn't you? Didn't you have a break in there?
What kind of a break are you talking about?
Oh, no. I thought you were printing that before you... No, okay.
All right, so let's echo that out again. See what's happening here. Resend. A play mid. Oh, little town of Bethlehem. Dev, no, and. Okay, so that looks pretty good. But here's something. PHP sometimes, and I'm just guessing, this is I love live broadcasting because we get to kind of diagnose this together, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. PHP sometimes doesn't know where to find stuff unless you specify the actual path. So I'm guessing, and I'm really hoping for our sake for tonight that that's what it is. Let's type where is a play MIDI. It's located in /user/bin. So if I edit that file, and let's change that, /user/bin, and I really hope that that's what the problem is. We'll see in just a moment here. I'm going to change that back to an exec statement instead of an echo. And let's see. Okay, there's my file list. Play. Is it working? It's not working. Where's my PID? Still no PID. Let's try that command in our terminal. I'm just copying and pasting. And it works in the terminal, so my command is correct. Away in a manger. What's that one like? So that works when we do it that way. So what that tells me, there's a permissions thing going on where PHP doesn't have access to a play MIDI or possibly the files. Let's take a look.
Chat thinks you're too loud.
Am I too...
No,
how am I
your
too,
music is too loud.
My music? Exec, not exit. Okay, here we go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to assign a string. So we're going to call this output. And let's actually see what's happening here. See what I've done is I've said, okay, we're going to actually output to output. Control O. And let's refresh. It's giving me no output whatsoever. Did I get that right? Bin. A play MIDI. Got it. Exec. Come on, Eric. What did you do?
I broke it.
I thought so. What do you think? Dennis Kelly, I know we're close. Folks, I know we're close.
An extra quote. No.
We're going to look at var user bin and a play MIDI is owned by root.
Do we want to pipe it to dev? No.
Done and done.
No, I mean, do you really want to do that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's not going to return to my script.
No.
Sorry, guys. Come on. I'll do what Eric suggested there. Nothing. Ah! Okay, so what do I do in a case like that? Here's where troubleshooting comes in, and we say, okay, well, that stinks. What can we do? Okay, so there's a couple of things. I would say we could output it to a bash script, and we could have... What could we use?
This should be working, though, shouldn't it?
I would think so, but there's some kind of a permissions thing here, Dennis Kelly. And I'm not bluffing at all. Like, I'm not the kind of guy who... I'm not going to preset everything up on my system and then make it work on my system and, oh, look at Robbie, he's amazing because he can make it go all the time. And then you go to try it on your system and you run into this problem and it doesn't work. That's no good to you. What I'm thinking is if we, instead of executing directly from within the PHP script, we save it to a bash script. And we could have like a cron job that runs on a timer. Could it be every 1 minute, say? Does that make sense to you, Dennis? Or to those of you at home? I'd love to be able just to do it through PHP, and I think we're on the right track. I really do. I think that there's just something to do with permissions or something on the files that's causing us a headache, and maybe it has to do with my running user for PHP, which we can find that.
You're running as a super user in the terminal, but you're...
Yes, but if I exec who am I, right? Let's see who I'm actually running as. www.-data.
Or data.
Right.
Yes.
So it could be a permissions thing because I'm not running as root in the terminal, and we're kind of pressed for time tonight.
You don't really want to sudo...
No, you wouldn't do that. No, we're looking at security.
Page.
So what I would do instead is perhaps output to a file and run it on a cron job. Do you know how to do that, Dennis? I know it's kind of like a half of a tutorial when it doesn't go exactly right, and I'm sorry. But so if I, instead of exec, create a bash sh file and have it set to chmod plus x, and in that file it has to do two things. One, it's got to be a bin/bash file. It has to run the command, the aplay mid-p and so on, just like we've created, and it has to delete itself. It has to be a self-destructing file. Guest 11327 in the chat room has made a good point, is we could try running through our terminal. Let's do it. I'm going to put back... I want to return... Oh, but see, we've already created it as a select list. If only it was just getting commands from the... I can't do it. Can't do it. You understand what I'm saying? It's a select list, so I can't do it through. I can't execute.
Well, the
it through
show's going to be 80 minutes long tonight.
It's going to be 160 minutes. No, but what's going to happen is I'm going to finish the script. I'm going to get it working. I'm going to put it online for you on episode number 326's show notes. But I hope that still you kind of learned a couple of fun little things. Dennis, we're going to get to the bottom of it. I think, though, making a bash script, running a cron job, it's a self-destructing script. So if it looks for the file, let's say it's in /tmp/initiatemusic.sh. It runs that every minute, and it deletes itself as soon as it's finished running. So it's not going to run more than once. And it will only get created when you change the song playing. So it would take up to a minute for it to change songs because of the cron job, but it would work.
How many songs are a minute?
Not
well,
perfect.
maybe these little MIDI files might be.
I'm just
less
saying,
than that,
it's just an idea. So interesting concepts. Failure on my part in some ways. Dennis Kelly. All right.
I do believe Dennis will get over it
I think so.
and
Will
go
you-
on
will
to
you
lead a
forgive me
relatively
for
normal
not being-
life
Yeah,
and be sweet to his wife who's having a birthday.
absolutely.
Oh, no. Yeah, that was it.
So I think
was
I think
Dennis.
we've learned something tonight. It's not always beautiful and perfect, guys. Oh, I wish I had more time to just tinker with it. I know that I'm close. You've been no help at all.
I have been no help at all. I've been sitting here chatting with kids and having a good time. Should we do news soon?
You ready for it?
I think we should.
He's interrupting me.
A little
So
more coffee.
yeah, there you go. What do you have for us?
Well, here are the top stories from the Category5TV newsroom. 1. Coinbase. A startup that lets people trade bitcoins has raised $25 million in venture capital funding, the largest by a Bitcoin startup. Bitcoin, a virtual currency, has been attracting a lot of interest, and its value surpassed $1,000 recently. Backers of the currency, which is not controlled by regulators, have been pushing for its increased usage. Coinbase said it will use the funding to educate the market and promote the mainstream adoption of Bitcoin. The firm said in a blog post, "We are nearing a tipping point for broad adoption of Bitcoin, what we at Coinbase believe to be one of the most important shifts in the global economy in our lifetime." Well, this is wild stuff.
Bitcoins? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of cash.
Yeah. Major games publishers have offered their support to fans who have had gameplay clips removed from YouTube due to illegitimate copyright claims. Changes in the way Google-owned YouTube scans videos has caused a spike in clips being taken down.
Don't I know it?
But Capcom, Blizzard, and Ubisoft all said they wanted footage of their games to remain online. Gameplay videos are extremely popular on YouTube, with some channels having millions of subscribers. Technically, uploading footage is a breach of copyright. However, many publishers see the clips as a useful and effective means of promotion for their games.
I would say so. It's like free advertising for them.
Indeed.
But how interesting that they're standing up for it. Really?
Where do we draw the lines, though?
Google is getting ridiculous with their copyright enforcement to the point that even we are having trouble right now with Google, and we, like I jokingly say off the top, that we're so careful, and we really are, but we have a lot of content on the show. We bring up websites, and we can't control, when we bring up a website, what advertisement is on there and stuff like that. So, don't hit us for that.
Yeah.
It gets a little ridiculous. It really does.
Well, it happens.
Apparently.
A supercomputer that is the greenest of its kind has been built at Cambridge University.
It's actually more blue to me.
It does look pretty blue.
Huh.
That was just corny. Okay, sorry.
I know.
Wilkes,
It's bad.
named after computing pioneer Morris Wilkes, will be used for the development of Square Kilometer Array, SKA. When complete, the SKA will be the biggest radio telescope ever made. The computer's power is the equivalent of 4,000 typical desktop computers all working together, the university said. While it is some way off being the most powerful in the world, it ranks 166th. Wilk was built to be efficient rather than powerful. It has an energy efficiency of 3,361 megaflops per watt.
What?
That's what I said.
That's crazy. What?
Watts.
What? That's another really bad one.
I know.
It's really bad.
He's on a roll tonight, kids.
Is it not true, though, that my nightlight uses 4 watts?
I don't know. I haven't
These guys have more...
been in your bedroom.
No, just normal nightlight is 4 watts.
I have no idea what your nightlight does.
It's 4 watts.
Does it have a Mickey Mouse on it?
They're saying with 1 watt...
It's probably got a Captain Kirk on it.
With 1 watt, they will do 3,361 megaflops of data. That's more megaflops than BlackBerry in the past 3 years. And only a watt of power used.
What, are you saying the torch was a flop? Oh, Wilkes comes in second place on the Green 500 ranking of the most energy-efficient computers. However, the leading machine, built by a team in Tokyo, requires an oil cooling system, whereas Wilkes is cooled using air, making it the most efficient of its kind.
There's a lot of people standing there going... Sorry.
Xbox One owners are being warned about an internet prank message that could wreck their console. The prank message falsely claims to enable the new console to play games made for its predecessor, the Xbox 360. According to Microsoft, the Xbox One cannot play those older games, and those following the bogus advice could brick their console, rendering it inoperable. The prank originated on a forum on 4chan, a humor and discussion site known for playing pranks on the naive and gullible. Here I am. A message posted to one of its forums adopted a series of button presses, menu choices, and ID details required to turn an Xbox One into a device that can be used by developers who need to test games for the console. Unfortunately, anyone following the advice who was not an actual Xbox game developer and who did not have a real ID would put their console into an endless startup loop. Worse, there is no way to undo the damage once the console has been bricked.
That's crazy talk.
No Control-Alt-Delete here, kids.
They actually put a kill switch in their console, and they don't expect people to exploit that? And they did it as a prank? It might as well have been Sony saying, hey, enter this into your console, and all of these Xboxes done. That's crazy.
Maybe it was.
Yeah.
You can get the full stories at category5.tv/newsroom. The Category5.tv newsroom is researched by Roy W. Nash with contributions by our community of viewers. If you have a news story you think is worthy of on-air mention, email newsroom@category5.tv. For the Category5.tv newsroom, I'm Eric Kidd.
Thank you so much, Eric. This is Category 5 Technology TV. Check out our website, www.category5.tv. So nice to have you here. Eric, did you hear SteamOS, the beta, is here
The
now?
beta is here?
This is exciting. No, really.
You bet it.
Really, it is. Imagine being able to build your own bleeding edge gaming console. That's what SteamOS is basically giving to the community.
Wow.
Their website, store.steampowered.com/SteamOS. You can actually download the beta. It gives you instructions on how to build your own gaming unit, and you're good to go, I guess. But see, manufacturers are going to start picking up on this. They're going to build nice, sleek, Steam-powered video game consoles with controllers and everything. But, I mean, when you can build your own and just integrate with your computer or whatever, pretty exciting stuff.
Well, Tennessee Frank says, yay, SteamOS.
I think it's exciting. It's a transition in the way that we do console gaming when we can build our own or get open source gaming consoles. I've got some Visa cards. These are the real deal, folks. Visa, preloaded. Thank you to ESET at ESET.com or our affiliate link, cat5.tv/ESET. And you know what that music means. We've got another one of these to give away to the chat room. Get in there. Sans serif, Phil UK.
Albuquerque Durkee, Popey, see you again. Dreamer, I am Tech. Here we go, folks. We are just about out of time for tonight, but we want to give you another $25 Visa gift card. Hey, Jot. I can't even keep up with them at this speed, folks. Tennessee Frank, I saw you there. Steve, Weemick, Gerby. Are you able to help me keep up here? Wowzers. Who's going to win a $25 gift card from ESET?
Chips.
This is the this is a prepaid Visa card. Could be. It could be any one of you standing in the chat room right now. And let's find out who wins this thing. It's a Visa gift card from ESET, and the winner is Nua. Congratulations, Nua, to our 2 winners tonight. All you have to do is get an email out to us live at Category5TV. We need to actually send you these things because they're Visa cards. It's not like something I can email you. It's an actual prepaid credit card kind of thing. So just pop me an email with your full mailing address so that I can pop this in the mail. They're ready to go. I just got to add the postage and stick them in for you. So don't forget, live at Category5.tv. In order to claim your prize, I need your mailing address to send that out to you. So congratulations to everybody who won tonight. We've got more to give away next week. Plus, you can win a free copy of Wirecast 5 Pro. That's the broadcasting suite that we use here at Category 5 Technology TV. It turns your computer into a broadcasting mega computer. It's awesome. Camera switching, everything. And we're going to be giving away a professional copy. All you have to do is email live at Category5.tv. Your subject line should be something along the lines of, I want Wirecast. Send me your registered username in the body of the email, as we always need, and that's all we need from you in order to qualify you for that awesome prize.
Awesome.
Want to say hi to our newly registered viewers. You've got the list there. Maybe you can work that out for me. Quite a few this week. Hey.
Just a minute. I do have the new list.
There you go.
There it is. Hey, we have Chris, M510.
Hey, Chris.
And Deb Club.
Not like Dub Club. Like that. It's Deb Club. Yeah.
Deb Club.
Not Dub. Got it.
Now, this could be UDoB or UDoB.
All right.
Dave Tech.
UDoB. Hey.
Alias. Or
Alias.
Also known as.
Real name.
Yeah. Rafi Cruz Miller. And Nikki.
Hey, Nikki. Thanks for keeping it simple.
Yeah, that one was easy.
That was easier.
Well, maybe it's Nikai or no.
Could be.
Could be Nikki. I think it's.
Thanks for being here, buddy. Good to see you. Nice to see you. Next week, lots going on. We got more of those Visa gift cards to give away from ESET. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Microsoft.
Microsoft too.
It's not really Microsoft. It's actually a scammer calling you and pretending to be Microsoft, trying to get into your computer. We're going to be talking to, I know, Cheese, right? Sasha Dermatis is here. We're going to be talking to Dale Pearson from Subliminal Hacking. He's going to be talking to us all about those scams that are calling up everybody and trying to trick them into giving them access to your computer, your personal information.
I had a friend had that. I don't think
we're going to see the footage. We're going to actually see the footage of this scam going on in real time.
Wow.
Don't miss it. That's happening next week. So we're out of time though, Eric. Sorry, buddy.
I don't want to hang out.
Yeah, I know. We're going to hang out. You going to hang out? We're in the chat room, Category 5 on Freenode. We'll see you there. Have a great week, everybody.
See you next time.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Category 5 TV broadcasts live from Barrie, Ontario, Canada every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching this on demand or through cable TV, check out the local show times in your area at Category5.tv and find out when you can watch live and interact in the community chat room. Category 5 is a production of Prodigy Digital Solutions and is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 2.5 Canada. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.